Okay, in this video we're going to look at how to make a population pyramid with Excel and US Census data. And you can see here the basics of what a population pyramid is from Wikipedia. Um, it's just a graphic illustration that shows the distribution of various age groups in a population. We're looking in this example by city, but you can do this by any kind of geographic level, state, country, so forth. And basically what you want to have are these bar graphs that come out from the axis that shows the percentage distributions for each of the populations. And a lot of times you want to do this so you can analyze what the population's like. So for example here you can see there's a very large bottom to the pyramid showing that this is going to be an expanding population. This is still expanding, but here you can see a stationary, and then a contracting population is going to have a smaller bottom to it. And for example, in some parts of the developing world, like India, you might see a population pyramid more like this. In countries like the United States, well, not really the United States. The United States has more like stage 3, but in Europe, throughout Europe, you're going to find like this kind of situation with stage 4 with a contracting population. So how do we make these population pyramids? Well, basically the first step is that we have to get the data. And for the United States, we can get the data from the US Census. So I'm going to make the population pyramid for Houston, Texas. So if you go to this website, factfinder.census.gov, it's going to take you here, and this is where you can access any of the census census information. And so here I'm going to type Houston, Texas, and we want the city of Houston. Normally, you might want to also take into considerations like metropolitan statistical areas or counties or so forth. But in this example, we're just going to look at Houston. So here's Houston City, Texas. We go. We find out Houston has a total population of 2 million people. And if we click on this first link, general population and housing characteristics, we're going to get the demographic breakdown of Houston. And so we can see here we have the total population, for example, and it has a breakdown by ages. We also have here by gender. Normally in population pyramids, they have a breakdown by gender, by the male and the female on each side. So we're going to just make two different bar graphs for that. So I want you to go ahead and launch Excel. And so once you have the Excel launched up, what you're going to need to do is copy this information. So we're going to want to take, for example, the male population and just highlight it. And then you want to do Control C or Apple C if you're on a Command C if you're on a Mac. Then go over to Excel and then paste that. And so we have here the male population, and we have it breaking down percentage-wise by age. And so here we can put, for example, age, and here's number, or we can say count, and then here percent. And then I want to get the same information for the female population. And so I'm just going to scroll down here to the female population and also select it all. And then I'm going to copy it, do Control C. And then I'm going to go back to my Excel and I'm going to paste it here. No. If you right click, you can always paste with matching destination formatting. That's going to make a cleaner looking paste. And go ahead and copy these column headers, why not? And so now we can see here the breakdowns. Now that we have the data inside Excel, what we want to do is go ahead and select the different percentages. And the age groups. And once you have that selected, actually you're going to want to just select the males first. You have to do these separate. And say, okay, then you go to the Insert tab on the ribbon, and you choose bars and just a 2D bar. And so then you have here the population pyramid for men in Houston, Texas. And then if you do the same thing by selecting the ages, and whenever you select, you can just hold here while you're dragging, it selects everything. And then when you get over here to select the second, you just hold the control button while you click on it, and that will allow you to select the multiple ones. Oh, but we don't want the counts, we want the percentages. So select now the percentages. Insert bar, and then a 2D bar. Right, something happened. Delete this. Let's try that again. Up. Okay. Insert bar, 2D bar. There we go. And so this will be the female population. What we can do is change the color here to something like red for women and blue for men. And then what you can do to get it to look like those Wikipedia ones that we were looking at, if you click on one of the axes and you go to Format Axes, you can check this box for values in reverse order. That will put the values into the reverse order. And then let's see, delete that off. And what else we can do is even get rid of the labels there. And then there we go. Once you get to this kind of anchor, you can drag this over. And there we go. There was our population pyramid for males and females. And so we can see here from this population pyramid, just move that. So we can see this from this population pyramid that we're going to have expanding, pretty expanding populations, but not too intensively expanding, because we have here a bulge around 20 to 24 in Houston. And this makes sense with immigration patterns, where it's possible that a lot of people are moving to Houston for work, for example, and so they're coming from other surrounding cities. That's why they're not showing up in the population pyramid as younger adults. So this jump here is probably coming from immigration patterns. But this is basically how you would make a population pyramid with Excel. So just a recap of what we've done. You would go to Census Fact Finder website. You can type in the city or place that you're interested in. Get to the general populations characteristics. Here you'll have your breakdowns and percentages of the male and female populations, even total populations. Once you have that, you're just going to select the information, copy it, then you're going to go over to Excel, paste it into Excel. And once you're in Excel, it's all about making them into bar graphs. So if you just say insert bar and choose here the option of a clustered bar graph, you would just select by highlighting, clicking and holding, and then doing control click to hold all the percentages, and then insert in your column. That's how you would, your bar graph. Insert bar, and that's how you get that population pyramid. In order to reverse it, in case you want to do the side by side like they have in Excel, how they have on Wikipedia, you just go to Format Access, and then here you can see values in reverse order. And then it's all about moving around your columns and so forth to get your exact population pyramid.